All right. So, welcome everyone to our PTC monthly ISV Spotlight series. Today we will be featuring Professional Advantage and Nodus. I'm just going to turn off our transcription there so that doesn't get that there. Um, so just a couple housekeeping things as we get through here. This session is being recorded. So again, if there for some reason you wish not to be recorded, now would be the time to jump off. Everyone is in mute. So please use the chat session for any questions or anything like that. We will be stopping periodically during this webinar to check for questions. And then also, I do have a couple of polling questions. So if you are looking for CPE credits, I will be stopping and doing some polling questions. You do need to answer all the polling questions in order to get the CPE credits. So with that, we are going to go ahead and jump in here. So today's presenters, well, first off, I'm Michael Gummel from Paradigm Technology Consulting. I guess I probably should have led off with that. So again, welcome to the monthly ISV Spotlight series. Today we have Griffin from Professional Advantage and McKenna from Nodus, and they will be taking you through an overview of their solutions and how they are an integrated solution now as well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and I will go ahead and turn it over to Griffin.
Time here today to view this integration. Again, my name is Griffin Swanson from Professional Advantage. I'm the channel product manager here for our ISV add-ons. Now, I just want to preface this demonstration here today. As Michael mentioned, this is an integration demonstration between the collections management module and the Nodus Paylink module. Just so everyone's aware, I do have a full collections management demonstration myself as well, which typically takes me about 40 minutes to get through. Unfortunately, I will not be doing the front to back demonstration here today, more so showing you that integration piece. But if anybody is interested in seeing that full demonstration, let Michael or myself know. We could always schedule a one-on-one, or I do have a demo recording that covers everything in that as well. With that being said, I'm sharing my GP screen here right now. And the first thing that I want to mention for any of those attending today that do use collections management already, there are no additional costs from Professional Advantage to turn this integration on. As you can see here, I'm pulling open my registration window right now. You can see we have this Nodus Paylink integration status at the bottom, showing in my demo environment that it is active. All I would need to do here at Professional Advantage is send you an updated collections management key that turns that integration on. Again, that does not cost anything on your side from the Professional Advantage side. You would obviously have to own the Paylink module, but assuming that was the case, I could simply send you a key in a matter of minutes. Now, once you have that activated here within collections management, there's basically two setup options when it comes to sending these payment links. So I'm in the sales area here in GP today. From the cards window, you can see a lot of the collection items are being set up here. Now, when it comes to emailing customers, we have the ability to set up what we call collection letters. Now, as you can all see, these are completely blank, so I'm just going to test here today for PTC, and we'll just open up those windows there. Now, we allow you to create these from scratch, edit these as you feel fit, modify them along the way, or purely delete them if ever necessary. We do, however, predefine some things in here for you if you wanted to take advantage of it. For example, here, you have the ability to attach invoice groups. So I could say to myself, okay, I want to attach all of their overdue invoices. I can copy in and blind copy the customer salesperson too. And then what we allow you to do is put functions within your collections letters, because ultimately these are things that you're going to be using on a reoccurring basis. So for example, here I might put in the customer's contact name. So we say, hi, customer, and then you can see that function is populated. Now, here are your overdue invoices. And then you can actually put these invoice functions within your collection letters. Now, there's a lot of different functions, as you can all see here today. That is the goal of collections, to collect on your past due and future receivables. But what we're focusing on again here today is the integration status with Nodus Paylink. So the first thing I want to show you here is you can see we have this Paylink for multiple documents functions. You can put that within there, and then maybe we wrap it up and say, thanks, customer. Here's some contact information for you to get a hold of me. Maybe we put in our phone number there. But ultimately, by this Paylink for multiple documents function, what we're doing then is sending one payment link for every invoice we select to send to that customer. So you're basically telling the customer, here are 5 of your invoices, for an example, one payment link. So you're essentially telling them to pay all 5 of their invoices at the same time. Now, you guys might be sitting there wondering, okay, well, what if I send the customer 5 invoices and I want to give them a little more freedom, have an individual payment link for each invoice so they can pick and choose which ones they can afford. So I'm going to delete this function here for starters and then go back to the invoices. And what we'll just do here is we'll go to selected invoices, selected documents there. Now, I'm going to populate this without the Paylink functionality here for starters. You see it puts this integer at the end with a 0. Now, if I delete this here again, add the payment link functionality, this time you're going to see the integer include a 1. That's telling us now we're going to grab a payment link for each invoice that we select. So that's what happens when it comes to the setup of collections plus Paylink. It is that straightforward. You're essentially giving them one of 2 options, including one payment link for every invoice that you want them to pay, or an individual payment link for each invoice that you select. Now, when it comes to sending out these collection letters, there's a few different areas that we can do that within our module. I'm going to start more on the automation side of things, and then we'll dive into the collections main window and actually send a one-off email for you all to review today. But sticking here in the cards, we do have what we call collection plans. Now, collection plans are automated processes that create actions and send them based off the customer's oldest outstanding invoice. So for example, here you can see I have a few different plans. I have a good customer plan, high risk plan for those who are late paying customers, and just a standard regular plan there as well. So I want to pull open the good customer plan. This might be something we assign to customers who are notorious for making their payments on time, telling them, hey, we don't need to follow up with you too frequently, but you can see here the days overdue off to the left-hand side. That would ultimately process these actions here. So you do have the ability to send these in advance as well. You can see that first step is -7 days. So basically a week before those invoices are ever considered due, we're processing this action here called soon due. Now, if those invoices do go past due, we're then going to drill into the next step here, which would be a reminder letter. Now, you all will be able to drill into these actions here and review what the customer is going to receive. So, for example, here, 5 days past invoice date, we drill in and send them a reminder. We're saying, hey, your invoices are slightly overdue, and we're sending you a reminder 1 letter. So I can drill into this letter ID again. You see here, it pulls open that letter maintenance window that we just covered, sending them their overdue invoices, and we include payment link for multiple documents within that collection letter. So that's how those collection letters are attached to your collection plans and having them automatically sent to your customers. Now, the next step here that we're going to take is building a query. So one of the first problems we've seen with customers using GP is finding the customers that they should be collecting from first. And that's because a lot of customers using GP today collect using an age trial balance where customers are sorted alphabetically and not by collector. So we get to use this build queries window here to focus in on a specific group of customers that we want to work with. And we can do that by defining a number of restrictions. Now, again, that is fully covered in my 40-minute demo. If anybody's interested in seeing that, let Michael or myself know. But for today's demo, being that we're doing this with the Nodus team, I'm going to pull open one that I've already created. And what I'm looking for here is a group of customers that have an action type that equals promise to pay with a balance greater than their credit limit. So once I have my restrictions set here, I can run the query and click yes. What it's going to do is refresh it at that time and say, okay, we looked through 104 of your customer records. Of those, 6 meet the restrictions that you set here in this query. And then of those 6 customers, I can see their total balance and their overdue balance. Now I'm going to click OK here, everyone, and you're going to watch this window disappear. That's because we automatically save this for you, bring you back to the collections main window. And you notice here we have the ability to review all of our customers or just those who are in the query. So as a collector myself, I'm going to say, okay, I want to find out who those 6 customers are. So I can drill into this customer ID and find out those 6 customers here. Now, more importantly, we want to be able to communicate to these 6 customers all at the same time. So hopping back into the sales area here, right below the build query, we have the query letters option. That will pull open the query that you've just run by default. So again, we can see the 6 customers there, review them quickly. And then from this window, I have the ability of sending them a collection letter, statement, or their invoices. And then we would email that from this window here. So I hesitate to call that an automation practice, right? Because as you all just saw, there is some manual work involved there. However, it does eliminate the one-off process if there's a specific group of customers who really need to be receiving the same thing. So another example I like to use, everyone, is let's say you try to find all of your customers who have an invoice that's 90 days plus due. So you get a list of 20 customers back, right? You don't want to send those 20 customers the same one-off email over and over and over again, but rather you can put them in a query like we just did. At that time, you can say, okay, you're going to get your collection letter with those payment links. So you can see here for Nodus demo, I got this one payment link. And then what we can do is build those letters in real time. You can see the payment link there is working. It is almost complete. And then we can review those letters before they get sent out to the customer. So that is the queries window there. And now I'm going to show you how to send these from the one-off collections main window. Now, this is where most of our customers are spending their time. We did a survey a handful of years ago, and 90% of our customers are focusing on the collections main window here, which makes sense because you're able to review your customers from this window and perform a number of different actions. Now, again, I could go through all of these fields individually today, but unfortunately don't have enough time. So what I'm going to do here is show you the 2 different views that we can send these payment links from the collections main. For starters here, before we drill into the one-off at the top, this total due window here. This is telling you the invoices that you've sent to your customer so you can see what they owe you there. From this total due window, you have the ability to drill into our collections transaction inquiry. There's a handful of things that we can do from this window, right? For starters, I can see here this little information icon. That's telling us there's a note attached to that invoice. So I could review those note details. I can also see a letter next to each one of these as well. So this P here, it's telling us that the customer is promising to pay those invoices. I can see down here the total amount of those invoices the customers are promising. Now, if that promised payment goes past due, customer does not submit payment on it, and now it's past the action date that they said they were going to follow up on, this will automatically change the P to a B, which denotes a broken promise. So then you can easily see which invoices did not get paid on time. Similarly, here you can see P denotes that it's been promised. Oh, I already said that. D denotes it's in dispute. Scroll down a little further, S denotes special circumstance. And then if any of the invoices are not categorized by that collection action type, it would result here as an action type as none. But going back to the payment link status here, everyone, again, these are the invoices that are out to your customer. So you could click this payment link button off to the right-hand side and quickly send them a one-off email with those invoices from the top of this window. And then in a similar sense here, when you're sending your one-off emails, you have the ability to send collection letters with those payment links attached. So I'm going to go with the multiple payment links here, everyone. You can see Nodus Demo individual payment links. And I'm actually just going to change the customer quickly for this demo. I'm going to go Alton Manufacturing. All right, so pull this back open, multiple payment links, individual payment links. And then what I would do here at the bottom, I can see the invoices that we can send to the customer. So I simply just need to pick and choose which ones I want to attach in this email. Now, once I have those invoices selected, I'm going to click this blue refresh button, and that's when those functions, everyone, are going to populate. All right, so we're sending this to Jennifer there. You can see the 2 payment links for the invoices that we selected, and we can process that to her at that time. Now, I have done that in advance for today's demonstration. Very straightforward email, everyone. It's not the prettiest of emails, but ultimately what I want to focus on here is showing you those payment links for the invoices that we have selected. Now, the cool thing about the integration with the CCA Pay Fabric that we have with the Nodus team is that when your customers drill into those payment links like I just did, it is not going to require them to log into anything such as a portal. They can just simply click into that link and it pulls open a web browser showing their outstanding document details. So they can review this information here, can obviously see the total amount, but they're also going to be able to review that invoice and the line items that come with it. Now, once they're ready to make payment, everyone, they will have 2 options. Right now, I do not have ACH or eCheck set up in my demo environment, but if that is something that you guys use with your customers, by all means, you will be able to set that up, and you would just see another block here to the left-hand side to pay via ACH or eCheck. So absolutely we'll have that option, as well as the ability to pay via credit card. Now, the cool thing about this integration as well is that once that payment gets made by PayFabric here, it is going to put that fully applied in a batch back in GP for you guys to review and process. Now, assuming that you guys do fully apply those invoices, then it's going to go fully back to collections main window here. So when your collectors drill into the task window, we have this mark completed button. And this goes through and it says, okay, which of my invoices were fully applied within GP? We're going to go ahead and automatically mark those as complete. Because we have some customers who are processing thousands of invoices a week. It's not even realistic for them to go through and manually complete them every time an invoice is being paid. So this button is very beneficial to those large customers, but all of our customers should be taking advantage of this. So just to recap here, everyone, this kind of goes full circle, right? So we start here by creating a collection letter that ultimately includes the payment link status. We then have the ability to send that here from multiple different areas within collections. But let's just stick with the one-off theme here today. So we send a one-off email to the customer. That includes those individual payment links. Your customer then gets that on their end. It looks something like this. They drill into that payment link, which pulls open a web browser. They then make payment via credit card or ACH, and then PayFabric is going to put that back into GP in a batch for you guys to approve and have those fully applied. Assuming they are fully applied, your collector drills into the task window, clicks mark complete, and then all of those invoices that were applied by PayFabric will automatically get completed. And for those of you who are wondering, well, what if I want to review those that were fully applied automatically? We have this completed section here that would allow you to review those tasks. With that being said, everyone, that is going to wrap up my portion of today's demonstration. Again, really just giving you that high-level overview of how the integration with Paylink works within our collections module. For those of you who are interested in seeing a full collections demonstration, please let Michael or myself know, and we'll be happy to give that to you. At this time then, Michael, the floor is McKenna's.
All right. Well, before McKenna jumps in here, I'm going to go ahead and launch our first poll.
Perfect.
So this should be coming up now. You may need to go into the chat in order to be able to see it. But the first poll here is, do you have a formalized process for following up on unpaid invoices? And a simple yes or no question there. So go ahead and mark either yes or no, and then click on submit. And we will go ahead and take a look. Again, if you do need CPE credits, please make sure you do answer these questions. We will give it another couple seconds here. And then what I always do on these is I will do a 10-second countdown just to make sure that everybody who wants to answer these questions has the ability to. So we'll go ahead and do that countdown now. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we will go ahead.
Can everybody see GP?
Yep.
Yes.
Perfect. So inside of GP, we would be selling our solution PayFabric. So PayFabric allows you to send out these pay links. You can also process payments inside of GP directly. For example, you can process a payment in sales transaction entry, invoice entry, transaction entry, and then your cash receipt journal. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate on a cash receipt. Next, you're going to select credit card, enter in your amount. And once you tab off on your keyboard, it's going to bring up our e-transaction entry window. So this window, even though it looks like it's coming from GP, it's actually going to be powered by PayFabric. So PayFabric is our security of our solution. PayFabric acts as your payment gateway to the processor. It also acts as your secure cloud storage. So you can store your customer payment methods on file. We see this customer has their Visa on file. Your team member can only see the last 4 digits of their payment method. And all of this sensitive payment data is stored away from your GP environment, all up in our cloud for that PCI compliance. So we support credit cards, e-checks. If you wanted to do a surcharge, for instance, that's going to be a 2% fee because your customer is using a credit card to help recoup some of those payment processing fees back. Once you've selected the credit card, your team member will be able to go ahead and process that payment. We'll see an approval on the screen. And that's how you'll be able to take a payment directly in GP. Another helpful tool that you'll be able to use is going to be sending out a pay link on an order or on an invoice. So maybe you're going to be taking a down payment on an order, or you would like to pre-authorize a payment on an order. I'll go ahead and create that. From here, you can go up and send out a payment link. That is going to bring up the customer's email address, their cell phone number they have on file. The customer can even get it through a text message, and you can send them a pay link to pay by credit card or e-check. And from there, you can go ahead and send out that payment link. We'll see it's been sent successfully. And now on the bottom of this order, we see our payment link and that it's pending payment. So now your customer is going to receive their email. Similar to what we saw before, it's going to include an email with that payment link attached. It's going to be coming from an email address of your choice. The customer can click on their link and make their payment. So they can view their order details and pay by check or by credit card. It's going to populate their saved wallet that they have on file in PayFabric, or the customer can enter in a new wallet and save that for later use up into the PayFabric cloud. From there, your customer can process their transaction. They will see a payment confirmation on the screen, also get a receipt in their inbox. And now back in GP, I will refresh this pay link. And we'll see the pay link has been completed and our amount received now is that $500. So essentially, once you have your order, you don't have to handle any of that sensitive payment data. Your customer can enter in their own credit card information, pay their own order, and it will automatically go back into GP in real time. Our offering also includes a fully integrated customer payment portal. The way that our customer payment portal works is once an invoice is posted, the customer will automatically receive an email letting them know that they have a new invoice. That email will include a payment link as well as a link to log into the customer portal. So I've posted my invoice and our customer has received their email. The email is going to look something like this. Your logo will be shown on the customer's email. You can choose the wording. They can view the PDF version of their invoice. And the customer is given two options. The first is to pay now, and the second is to log in. The pay now link will take them to another payment link where they can pay for that one invoice. Our login option is going to take them to the customer payment portal login page. On this login page, your logo will be shown for your customer. You can change the colors however you like. Your customer can enter in their username and password and now log into their portal. Now, once logged in, they'll review a summary of their account. They can see their outstanding balance, sign up for auto payments. They can also see all of their outstanding invoices. The customer can view their document details of their invoice and select one or multiple invoices to pay. So as they log into their portal, this is their live statement that they're going to be able to see. It has a real-time integration to GP. Anytime anything's paid off, maybe you receive a paper check and apply that, now that invoice would be moved over to history. The customer can select their invoices they'd like to pay. If you would like to give them the functionality, they can make a partial payment. Now over on the payment page, the customer can apply any credit balance. That credit is going to be pulled from GP. They can add in a prepayment, and that's going to be an unapplied payment going back to their account in GP. The customer can also add in any notes, and these notes are going to show up on the cash receipt back on the comment field. Now they can see their payment methods from PayFabric. So we see this customer has an e-check, they have a credit card. And here's an example of our surcharge that we've imposed in our demo environment. So we have our surcharge. Our team's chosen 1% to surcharge our customers. And it's going to clearly state that because you're using a credit card, you will be charged this 1% surcharge fee. Now, if your customer does not want to pay that surcharge fee, they can always use the e-check option and the surcharge will go away. Now from there, your customer can confirm and pay. They'll see that payment confirmation on the screen and an email will automatically be sent to the customer. You can also BCC yourselves to also receive those payment confirmations as they come in. So now those payments are going to flow back into GP. This payment ID has been created, PFR ending in 638. So if we take that payment ID, go back into GP to our cash receipt journal. I'll pull up that payment receipt, PFR ending in 638, and we see our payment has already made its way back in. The payments will come into a daily batch for your team to review and post. We see our little note that we left here. And the payment has been applied to the correct invoices. So essentially your process would look a little like this. The only thing your team would need to do is post that invoice. Upon posting the invoice, your customer would get notified and they have some links to go ahead and make their payment. Once the customer makes their payment, the record will automatically flow back into GP and apply for you. A couple other features in the customer portal includes autopay. So this is for if any of your customers take place in recurring or subscription payments. So we have a monthly autopay as well as a recurring invoice autopay. These are two different templates that we've created for our demo environment. There are a bunch of different filters and fields that you can choose from and create them all your own. But for this one, it's going to be pay outstanding balance on a monthly basis. So if your team created a contract like that, your customer can sign up. Now every month, all of their invoices will automatically be paid off. They can also view their history and filter through if they're looking for anything specific. We also have an internal facing portal. This is where anyone from your team can log into. Now from this internal facing portal, you can process a transaction in a virtual terminal, run different reports that can help with reconciliation. And over in receivables in our customers tab, this portal is fully integrated to GP as well. And your team can do anything the customer is able to do. They can help pay off their invoices, sign the customer up for auto pay, take a prepayment, or help manage their wallet. So this was just a high-level overview of our customer portal, some of our offerings. If you would like a more in-depth demo, please feel free to reach out to myself or Michael. But that's about all I have from my side. So I will go ahead and pass it back to Michael. Thank you.
All right, very good. Thank you, McKenna. And I'm going to go ahead and launch our second poll here. So again, this should pop up on your screen. If not, please go over and check in the chat area. And very simple one here. Would you like to get paid faster by your customers? Either yes or no. So hopefully you saw today how utilizing the the Pay Fabric functionality along with the Paylink, how we can get information out to your customers and have them go in and pay a lot quicker. You don't have to necessarily wait for them to cut checks or to get around to calling you with the their credit card information or anything like that nowadays. And again, you want to make sure you are compliant with all the rules and everything like that. Not saving the credit card information on anywhere's local, not writing it down on a piece of paper and having it in a desk somewheres. So by utilizing the Nodus functionality there, we have that where we're just that information saved up in the cloud, and all we have is a token back to us for that information. So we're compliant in that regards there. So again, if you can go ahead and answer that question, that poll question, I'm going to go ahead and give it the 10-second countdown here. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'll go ahead and close out that poll. And if anybody was wondering, yes, everybody would like to get paid faster by your customers there. So along those lines, either Griffin or McKenna, do you want to kind of chime in on how both of your solutions can help the users really get paid a lot faster there?
Yeah, so I can start on my side here. Well, for starters, the payment link integration, obviously, as we just demonstrated, is going to allow for customers to get paid faster, not having to log into a portal or anything of that nature, and having those payments fully applied back into GP automatically by PayFabric, with collections recognizing that it is going to lead to that. But another thing that I want to mention here, and I actually stole this from the Nodus team back in May when we had an event here in Denver. Customers who are using automation when it comes to their collections receive payments 88% faster than customers who are not using automation. And oddly enough, Michael, I mentioned earlier that the collections main window that I had demonstrated is used by 90% of our customers when we did our poll, but only 20% of our customers were taking advantage of the automation. And that's because some customers are just smaller shops that really don't need automation. But for those who are processing bulk invoices, I highly do recommend that if you're not using the automation piece today, to highly look into that from the collections management piece.
Great points there.
Yeah, from the Nodus side, when it comes to getting paid faster, your customers can pay at any time of the day. You don't need to have somebody in office or at their computer in order to take payments from your customers. They can pay if they want to on the beach with their family, whatever they want, they can go ahead and make payments to you. So that's what our solution helps with.
Yep, that's a great point there. All right, let's go ahead and launch our third poll here real quick. And this one is, again, another yes, no. Do you need CPE credits, yes or no? That way we know who we need to send the documents out to. So again, if you can go ahead and just respond to that there. And again, we'll give it a couple seconds here for people to respond and get their answers in. All right, so we'll go ahead and do the countdown here again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we'll go ahead and close off that poll. And we'll have one more poll at the very end here. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and take a look in the chat and see if there's any questions in there. Let's see, I think I've got a couple here. So it looks like the first one is for McKenna. And so does the customer portal get updated from manual payments made in GP? So if a customer or a company is going in and recording either manual check payments or ACH payments or anything else like that within GP, do those get pushed back up to the customer portal, or is it only stuff that runs through Nodus for the customer portal?
Good question. Absolutely, the system will recognize if there's a manual payment in GP. So the system checks GP every 60 seconds. It runs on 60-second synchronizers and updates the customer portal. So if your team makes a payment in GP against one of these invoices, that will be recognized and that invoice will be removed from their list of invoices to pay and be moved to history.
All right, great. The next one I see coming in here looks like, I think this one is for Griffin. So is collections management compatible with other ISV other invoices created in GP, or does it only work with the invoices that are generated from standard GP?
Yes, so natively it's going to grab the SOP invoices from GP by default, but it is very compatible with third-party invoicing as well. And with 2,200 customers using the module today, I'd say roughly about 30 to 40% of them are using some sort of third-party invoicing. So if that is the case for you, just let me know. It's a very straightforward setup when it comes to collections management, and we have a blog that walks customers through that setup as well, but very straightforward. And yes, collections will take third-party invoicing.
Very good. Very good. All right. Let's see, any other questions out there? So again, if you do have a question for either Griffin, McKenna, or even myself, please put those out in the chat. Let's see. Oh, we got a raised hand here. James, if you can go ahead and put the question in the chat area there. Looks like we got maybe one coming in here. So we'll give it a couple seconds here and see what the question is. All right, James, I did go ahead. Let's see here. We've got, okay. Let's see. Question came in. If I need to create new receivable billing, can we do this with these portals? I'm not sure what we, you know what, I think that might be specific to you guys. So I will take that as a follow-up. I'll reach out to you guys and go over that with you specifically. I think that's you know, something that's more specific to you guys versus general area over here. So let me just make that note here. All right. All right, I'll make that note. I'll follow up with you guys and we can chat about that. Any other questions out there? Not really seeing anything. So Griffin, McKenna, you want to do you have any last comments here that you want to go over? Griffin first.
Yeah, just want to reiterate again for those of you who want to see a front to back collections management demonstration, don't hesitate to reach out to Michael or myself. I can perform a one-on-one demonstration with you, or I do have that demo recording that is very cut and dry, goes over everything that I do in a live demo as well, and you can watch that at your leisure. Would be more than happy to send that, as well as any other product documentation.
All right, and saving the best for last here, McKenna.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, same as Griffin. If there's any other questions that you have, or if you have a more specific process or requirements, I'm more than happy to give a one-on-one demo. And thank you all so much for having me.
All right, and with that, let's go ahead and launch off our last poll here. If I can find it, there it is. All right, and then just please rate this session from 1 star up to 5 stars, if you can let us know there. And then also we'll be sending out some feedback here. So if we can, hear back from you guys, how we can make these sessions better. We're always looking to, make these sessions better for our clients and our customers. And also, if there are any other areas that you would like us to, pursue, or any other ISVs that you would like us to get on to our monthly session here, please let us know that as well. So again, go ahead and ask for everybody to go ahead and submit their responses here. And then we'll go ahead, excuse me for 1 second. All right. So again, we'll go ahead and do the countdown. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we'll go ahead and close off that poll. And with that, everybody should be able to see our contact information up there. So again, please feel to reach out to us at ptcsolutions.com or sales@ptsolutions.com, and ask us any questions. This video or this webinar will be posted up to our YouTube page, and the link will be sent out to everybody who attended here, so you can go back and review this at a later point in time as well. Again, if you do have any further questions specific for Griffin or McKenna, you can always flow those through me and we can get those questions answered. So again, a huge thank you for those of you who have spent your time with us today. Thank you for everyone else who may be viewing this later. We do appreciate, we know you have other ways to spend your time, so we do appreciate everyone spending a little bit of time with us today. I also want to thank both Griffin and McKenna for joining us today and sharing their expertise with us and talking us through how their solutions can help you. So with that, I will bid everyone adieu. And again, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks all.